Hi everybody, welcome back to 30 Days Until Done. We've been working on paintings this month and ekphrastic poetry. I'm now filming this in October, and I've been looking at your poetry, and it's been fantastic. It's been a real delight to see that. Also feel free to talk about what you want to talk about, just conversation sorts of things to have down below. I think that's a good thing. I think that's an important way of doing this. And I think ekphrasis is important that way too, because we are engaging in a conversation with art, and then by doing that conversation, the art has more meaning. It's now not just our immediate reaction, although that's part of it. Now that we have layers upon layers of meaning and I guess deeper relationship with that art. Once we engage in that way. And just talking about it too can help you develop those ideas for your poems. So sometimes talking below I think is a good idea. Okay, so anyway, we're talking about, we did 3 Odysseus paintings in a row, and today I'm going to give to you a whole bunch of paintings. They're not in my book. A whole bunch of paintings to talk about, you can talk about one of them individually, or you can talk about them as a whole, any way you want to do it. And that could actually end up being a pretty epic poem. And the paintings I wanted you to work on are William Blake. A lot of you, because you're poets, know him as a poet, but of course he was also an incredible printmaker. And he'd paint and do print making and all that sort of thing. He just did extraordinary work. And one of those things that he illustrated was Paradise Lost, right, which is obviously a great poem. And so, okay, so we've got Paradise Lost, we've got William Blake, and we've got ourselves again, we've got this sort of 3-way conversation going. And this is really Blake's statement about Paradise Lost, who he was much closer to than we were, or even to him. He was just a couple of generations of Milton. So we've got Blake's statement about Paradise Lost. Now, there's 2 ways of engaging this. You can talk about what it is that he was trying to say about Milton and Paradise Lost. I personally, Milton, great poet. Paradise Lost, amazing poem. I don't like it, right? It's just a personal taste. I acknowledge that there are a number of great works of art that I just don't like. That's one of them. And so I might talk about it in that way. And he just engages in religion in a way I'm not interested in engaging. But I find Blake's paintings of them really, really interesting, and I'm glad that I've read Paradise Lost so that I can because it helps me understand Blake's paintings a little bit better, right? And of course, I hadn't thought about this, but there's a 4th thing that we're the 4th part of the conversation, and that's the Bible, right? Because Milton was talking about his religious faith, talking about the Bible, and finding a way to make it open up the Bible to his people. Okay, so this might be interesting. What is Blake saying about both the Bible and Milton? And is there a difference between them? That might be an interesting thing to talk about. You might talk about in your poem his use of print as a form as opposed to just painting, and it's a more democratic form. It's not quite democratic because you still have to be rich to buy it, but it was much more democratic than doing one painting and selling it to a rich patron. Okay, so when you've written those poems, put them down below, and let's talk, and feel free to talk about the other people's poems too. This is just a lively conversation about art. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow on 30 Days Until Done.